Good Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm just sitting here eating some lunch for a few minutes. I figured I would talk to y'all and throw something out there to you for today, tomorrow, the weekend, beyond, what have you. I don't know about you guys, but I like things that make sense. I mean, I don't mind figuring things out every once in a while, playing detective, trying to put the puzzle pieces together, finding clues and making it all fit, trying to, come up with some type of plausible scenario. But I just like things that make sense every once in a while. And this is what's on my mind. I just can't get this off my mind. Regarding the prophecy, word of knowledge, what have you, the fiery kickoff event, why would it be called that? If people aren't familiar with it, I've shared it many times. Other people have shared it. It's actually on my main channel, Fear No Man, on the alert playlist on that main channel. If people want to look at the video that was put out by Take Heed to the Word a few years ago on it. But the thing about that is, why would it be called that? And the man that put it out made it prevalent. He said that's exactly what the Father called it, the fiery kickoff event. I can't get the words kickoff out of my mind, because if it had nothing to do with football or a kickoff, why would they say kickoff? I mean, I understand there's a symbolism behind it. When something kicks off, it begins. It's the start of something. But why the words kickoff? Why not just say the beginning of the event, or whatever? The event will begin, or the fiery event, or whatever. Why throw kickoff in there? And the reason I mention that is because I do believe that whenever this thing does occur, whenever major things do occur, I believe football has something to do with it. And I'm going to tell you why. These are just my observations. This is my mind, the way it thinks, the way my wheels are turning here. Because football is like a god in this nation. It has been for a long time. I mean, I've said before, and I mean, for the most part, nothing cancels the NFL. I mean, even after the day in September, didn't cancel the NFL. Canceled baseball, I think, for a period of time, maybe a few games. But nothing cancels the NFL, or college football for that matter. Football is like a god in this country. And I've read enough prophecies and words of knowledge, wisdom, or whatever over the years that leads me to believe that the Lord God does not like to compete with football. I mean, if you think about it, whatever people's Sabbath day is, whatever day they put aside to worship the Lord or what have you, if you think about it, if you're watching like pregame stuff, say a dude's like addicted to football or something, or dudette for all I don't know. But anyway, and they watch pregame stuff, if they live on the West Coast or whatever, they're pretty much watching football. If they watch Sunday night football, say it's Sunday, okay, because that's the big day. You have Monday night and Thursday night as well. But Sunday, you could literally be watching pregame stuff all the way from like 9, 10 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. or later at night. Literally, people could be watching 12 hours of football with very little break in between, because the games go 3.5 hours, right? And so you got early afternoon games, late afternoon games, evening games. You could literally be watching like 12 hours of football, okay, on a Sunday, right? If people are watching the pregame stuff and everything. So if people whether they go to church or whatever their Sabbath is, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is, okay? I'm not debating all of that, okay? I'm just saying a lot of people go to church on Sunday or whatever the case may be, all right? Well, then that would mean that football is their God. Football is their idol. Because they're spending 12 hours watching football games. And I'm thinking to myself, is the Lord going to continue to compete with that? I mean, he doesn't compete. Let me rephrase that. Is he going to continue to tolerate that? Because he's been putting up with this for many, many, many years. I mean, and it's just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And people are distracted by football games, whether it's college, pro, whatever else. And don't get me wrong, I love watching college football. I'll watch pro at times when my team's playing or whatever, if I have the opportunity. I'm not going to pay for all that garbage, subscribe to it or whatever, but I do like watching it. I'm not going to lie. And I do like watching, really competitive college games. My wife and I do that a lot, and it's big here in Tennessee, just like it's big in everywhere else, It's either college or pro or both, right? So I'm not judging people. I'm just saying that is a lot of time that people are wasting and, using, that they could be doing many other things, like worshiping the Lord, like spending time with him, like going to church if they don't go to church, or spending time at home in church or online church or whatever it is, fellowshipping, whatever it is, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, the fiery kickoff event. Now, for a while, I thought it might have had something to do with soccer, like the World Cup or whatever else. But that's not as big a deal, like European football, like European soccer or whatever. That's not a big a deal as football. As a matter of fact, NFL football, American football, has gone all over the world now. All over the world. They play games everywhere now. It's big everywhere, mostly in America, but it's pretty big all over the world now. So it seems to me that it has something to do with football. And with everything that's been going on lately, all of the drone stuff everywhere, all over the place, not just the northeastern United States, but other areas too, from what I understand. And now I'm hearing about like Pelosi and McConnell's going to be missing. Supposedly they got injured or ill or some type of event or whatever else. Just weird stuff happening, as well as, historically speaking, tomorrow marks the day of the mass vax rollout on December 14th, 2020. December 10th, it was actually introduced, but the mass rollout, began on the 14th. And also the unfortunate Sandy Hook incident, on the 14th. It's just very interesting to me. And I was listening to Mike from Around the World on Paul Begley yesterday. Starts at about the hour, 18-minute mark, and then it really gets good about the 14th, where he refers specifically to the 14th, tomorrow, around hour 45-minute mark. If people want to watch it, listen to it, whatever, Paul Begley YouTube channel. It's up to you, whatever. I'm just telling you what I heard, what I'm listening to. And he talked about how he thought it had something to do with the water or the ocean or something like that. Whatever event may occur or may tomorrow, and it appears that some people really believe, including myself, that it could go down tomorrow. And getting back to the football thing, tomorrow's the Army-Navy game. Now, our military is weak. It's pathetic. It's a joke. It has been for a long time, and it continues to be. But there's a lot of pride put into the Army-Navy game, and the fact that it's in D.C. at the old Washington Redskins, the new Washington Commanders Stadium, and all that jazz, it's a big, big deal, like I mentioned before. And it would be a kickoff. Now, with everything that's been going on, and everything that's being reported in the mainstream, or not even the lamestream, but like alternative media and whatever else, it kind of leads me to believe that something could go down tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be the actual kickoff event, even though China's surrounding Taiwan now. The Lincoln is out in the South China Sea as far as I know. I mean, everything is in play. And then you add the Edward Umling word of the no transition of power, which I've listened to several times, just trying to kind of dissect it to see, am I missing something here? Is there something that I didn't get the first time or whatever? It appears to me that tomorrow could be a very, very big day. Even shocking. So, excuse me, I'm eating. If that is the case, all I can tell people is to be prayed up and prepped up. Be ready for anything. If tomorrow goes off without a hitch, no big deal, whatever. Army-Navy game's great game, or maybe it's not, whatever the case may be. Blah, blah, blah. Same old thing. Blah, blah, blah. Same old thing. Same old stuff. Different day. I get it. Whatever. Go on about your life, citizens. I get it. But Mike from around the world, and I don't know the guy, okay? I just listened to him. I've listened to him enough to leads me to believe that he might know a little bit about what he's talking about from time to time. And he is like insistent, adamant that something spiritual that may manifest in the natural, but something is going to happen tomorrow that's going to catch people off guard. And it's going to make them, it's going to shock people. It's going to put them in a state of shock. That's what he's saying. That's what he's implying anyway. People listen to it themselves. So that leads me to believe that sometime tomorrow on Saturday the 14th is going to happen that's going to get people's attention. It won't be ignored. It won't be like, oh, well, that's a weird thing, good thing it didn't happen to me, or, that didn't happen here, so go on about your life, no big deal. No, it's going to be something. It appears something is going to occur. I'm not saying it. I believe that the kickoff event could happen tomorrow. I do. I really, truly believe that. Will it? I have no idea. But from what Mike was saying, he thought it had something to do with the water. And then apparently these objects in the sky, people have seen them like emerge from the water. Coast Guard cutters have tried to, I don't know what you want to say, interact with them, I guess, or do something. It's just weird. The whole thing is just weird that we are so weak and pathetic in this nation. We let spy balloons or whatever they are go all the way across the nation. We don't do anything about it. Nobody's doing anything about this. We get no truth. We have no idea what it is. We have no idea what these things are, who controls them, who put them up there. We don't know. Everybody can speculate this, that, what they think, what they believe. The bottom line is nobody really knows. We just know that they're there and nobody's doing anything about it. And it's just weird, man. And it appears to me that this could be a setup. And the fact that they're around New York, where the kickoff event would occur, not just in the ocean with the Lincoln, but with the Abraham Lincoln, but in New York, in Manhattan, or whatever the case may be, it appears to me that it's possible that it could happen tomorrow. So that's why I'm making this video and putting this out there for people, so they can be ready as possible. But I got to get going here, but I just wanted to throw that out there so people can be as ready as they want to be. Whatever last minute preps, items, whatever you need to do, be prayed up, prepped up, ready to go. Expect the unexpected, just be prepared, be ready. That's all I can say. And if nothing happens this weekend, next week, whatever, before the 25th, after the 25th, if it's all bunk, if it's all nothing, if it's all just a joke, okay, whatever. I don't think so, personally, but hey, if we get through the rest of this year, all the way up to Inauguration Day, the man gets in and everything, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded. I have no clue. I mean, people say, yeah, you don't have a clue. You're right, I don't. I have no clue. All I know is I see all the signs and symptoms, like from a medical aspect. I see all the signs and symptoms of devastation, chaos, destruction, violence, insanity. I see all the signs and symptoms of all of these things. But to put it all together, to make it make sense, it's very difficult. So I like things that make sense. Getting back to how I started this whole thing. To me, tomorrow makes sense. It makes sense historically. It makes sense because of what I've already heard. And what I believe in my heart. And the watch dates I was given from the 10th through the 17th has not disappointed at all. There's all kinds of craziness, all kinds of weirdness, all kinds of strange stuff, man. Stuff going on. It hasn't disappointed at all, from the 10th all the way to the 17th. Could be beyond that even. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But those are the dates I'm watching and have been watching. And if stuff goes down before Christmas, on Christmas, whatever, before New Year's, on New Year's, whatever, we've all been told, we've all been warned. If it goes up to the inauguration, great. If Umling is right and he doesn't get in, there's no transition of power. We've all been warned. We've all been told. We all need to be ready for the backlash and the chaos from that. Because it's going to get bad. Really, really bad. Last thing I'll say is go to Rumble, Ignited Church. I also shared it to the community page. If you can handle it. If you can handle it. And that's what I sent out to everybody that I text. If you can handle it. Only if you can handle it. It is graphic. It is a warning, viewer discretion advised kind of thing, but it is factual. That what Ben Faircloth put out on the Rumble channel about the horrific violence that is unedited and uncensored that is happening in Syria and other areas. And a lot of people can't handle it, and I understand that. It's tough to watch murder. It's tough to watch these atrocities. It's difficult. It's not for everybody, and I get that. But, like he said, it's coming to a city near you, near me, near everyone. So whether people can handle it or not, it's time to get a strong stomach. It's time to, be ready, and it's time to be paying attention to what the Lord wants you to pay attention to, and just, I don't know how else to say it. Just be ready. Be ready, because we're going to see it whether we want to or not, and a lot of people might even endure it. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go. Y'all have a good, blessed rest of your day and a good weekend ahead, hopefully. And if tomorrow's the day, tomorrow's the day. I guess we'll find out. And if not, whatever. Still got life to live and things to do and stuff to take care of, right? All right, y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.